Hi, everybody. It's Colin.
And Cadence.
And we're back at you live from the Baywatch Tower 28.
Just keeping an eye on that water, keeping y'all safe today.
It's a sunny day in Southern California. Let's dive into it automatically. At the end of the season finale of Baywatch Hawaii, we think that Mitch got blowed up.
He has slithered clear out of his little wetsuit.
If you guys don't remember, they found the way they think that Mitch is blowed up is floating in the water was a perfectly preserved and embroidered with his last name wetsuit. So Mitch's naked little slippery body blew right out of that wetsuit. And we think he's dead, right?
Right. Everyone's crying. They're in tears. It's traumatic.
I mean, we don't think he's dead, but people in the show,
right,
in the Baywatch world,
they don't
Mitch
know.
Is dead. They don't know. And they are. They're crying. It's just traumatizing. I mean, if you saw a really minute explosion in the middle of the ocean.
And, if you felt a little rumble.
And then you see a floating wetsuit with Mitch's name on it.
Obviously.
I think you'd be pretty heartbroken. So That's where we left off. Mitch been blown up. Everybody is really sad. We don't really know anything. But I think it's important before we dive into this, there's something that we need to know. We are doing Baywatch Hawaii Wedding Special today.
So this was a direct made-for-TV movie that took place just right after the year 2000. And it was sort of a way, I think at that point, Baywatch had been canceled officially, and they were trying to kind of wrap everything up.
Canceled? You mean they hit their end and they...
I mean, they ended with grace.
They left. They were like, we're too good for TV now. We're going to made-for-TV movies.
So they decided to kind of find this as a closer. So you get people from LA and you get the lifeguards from Hawaii, and it brings everyone together for this beautiful, artistic, glorious, elegant reunion. It's
called Baywatch Hawaiian Wedding, but think of it as Baywatch Hawaiian Family Reunion. So we just want to say it's important to note that there's something before we dive into this amazing piece of art and history, is that Mitch was engaged to a female named Stephanie.
So this was in the previous seasons that took place in the LA version of the show.
Yes, which we have not covered. So just that's a main point, because this whole time you'll kind of be like, everyone's talking about the Stephanie character.
It's the main plot point.
It's the main plot point. So just so everyone's clear on this, Stephanie is Mitch's ex-fiance.
Okay.
Who passed away.
I mean, not technically ex, because they were still engaged when she died tragically in a boat accident.
He did not have time for that, so it's his ex.
So she has passed on, and this happens way before Hawaii, but this is what this whole movie revolves around, because when Baywatch Hawaiian Wedding opens, he's lying in bed with someone, a woman, and you're like, is that Stephanie? Because it's the same actress that played Stephanie. But no, you guys, it's someone named Allison.
Yep.
And Mitch is engaged to a woman named Allison, who is the literal dead ringer for his
actual
fiance.
Same actress. So yes, looks
and
a lot
played by
like
the same
her.
actress.
So that's a very good intro to Baywatch Hawaiian. Baywatch Hawaiian Wedding. I was gonna say Baywatch Hawaii. So that is a good intro. He is waking up next to this female named Allison.
So we open this with, it's like a dark and stormy night in Southern California. Mitch is tossing and turning.
Those dark, stormy hurricane nights in Southern California.
SoCal's known for its storms. And part of the reason I think Mitch might be tossing and turning is because he sleeps with a full lights on fish tank at the foot of his bed. I'm like,
he can't get away from that ocean. He just always, even when he's sleeping, he's underwater.
So bright, and it's literally touching the top of his head.
Yeah, but
I'm like, Mitch,
he can't get away from that ocean. It calls him.
Contributing to your insomnia issues. So he's having a flashback of the thing we have just mentioned: his former fiance Stephanie, dying tragically. So he tosses and turns, wakes up. Next, he turns around. What do we see? His new fiance, Allison.
Who looks doppelganger of Stephanie. Literally, she's played by the same actress.
Right. So it's the same actress.
Just get that
and
right.
She wakes him up and she's like, are you okay? She's like trying to take care
Mitch,
of
baby,
him.
what's up?
And then she says like the smoothest line in history where she's like, I'm just afraid you don't love me for me. I'm afraid you love me because I look exactly like your dead fiance.
Always a fun chat to have with people.
And he's like post nightmare, like night terror, being like, no, definitely. And this is the right time.
The right time for her to bring that up.
If you will marry me. And so he grabs this massive ring from, just happens to be in his bedstand. That's where I keep all my best jewelry.
Buy his fish food.
Yeah, fish food and diamond rings. Same drawer. And so he proposes to her, and even though she's like, are you sure that you love me and not my identical face? He reassures her, and it's the happiest night of their lives. But here's the thing. Mitch hasn't been keeping in touch with anybody from either the California or the Hawaii team.
He went off the grid. So after we expect that he got blowed up, nobody knows anything about it. Let's just lay that clear. He is back in LA, but does not talk to anybody from either team. And that's that.
And you know what? He does. He's also suffering from amnesia. But you will see as this movie progresses, we're not entirely sure what exactly he can remember and what exactly
it's a little bit of selective amnesia, you guys. It's like sometimes he can remember, but also just to make it clear, we did think about, going through all those questions.
But no, it's
useless. Just too many. It's opening up a can of worms. So just before you ask any questions like, how the hell did he leave Hawaii? Did anyone know? No, don't.
You'll feel yourself wanting to go down that rabbit hole, but you know what? No.
Don't have time for that.
Go somewhere else.
All right. So it is the hottest day of the summer. I'm setting the scene.
Absolute
hottest day of the fegging summer. And the Baywatch team in LA right now, they don't have anybody.
Getting the beaches ready.
They're getting the beaches ready, but they don't have any backup. They don't have anyone that can help, only a select few. And so
my favorite part though is that they're like preparing the beach for the hottest day of the summer, and there's nobody on the beach. And I'm like, is there a gate somewhere that they just like open it up and they're like, come on in,
oh, they flood in. It's like Disneyland. They like play music like, welcome to Baywatch. And yeah, like we said, there's no like junior lifeguards or anyone that can help. And the head lifeguard...
They're stressing out because they're like, how are we going to be able to do this?
The head lifeguard in LA is like, there's only one person I can call to help with this busiest day of the year.
You guys, and I'll give you a hint. It's the same person that the CIA called out of retirement 15 years later.
Mitch, it's like everyone loves to just call Mitch to do things when he's done doing them.
Yes.
But then he has to force himself to do them again because he's Mitch. So the head lifeguard has no idea what to do, but she calls Mitch.
Yes, Mitch.
This is your favorite redhead in the world.
Hey, Taylor. You gotta be rocking today, huh?
Yes. And I don't have enough guards to fill the towers. Do you mind coming down to your old stomping grounds and lending a hand?
Oh, I don't know. All that running, all that swimming.
But you're at Mother's Beach. I wouldn't want to see you pull a muscle or anything.
Hey, darling, I can still do all day what it takes you lifeguards all day to do.
Come down and prove it.
All right. You got me. I'll be there.
It's like all that water and running, that's behind me. And I'm like, you literally were just wandering.
That's what you're spending your days doing.
He's like, okay, I'll come in. What tower? She's like, meet me at tower what? Like 28 or 10 or something like that.
Some number of some tower. So this... She finds out during this interaction with Mitch on the phone that he is now engaged to Allison, and her little antennae go up because she's like, we don't know this person. Yeah. We've never met this person. What are you talking about?
No one's heard from you. No one knows where the hell you've been. No one even knows you almost got blowed up. You're just...
And all of a sudden
you're engaged to this woman named Allison. And the Baywatch team's tight. So it's like, think of that like Gossip Girl. They all know everyone else's business, even if it's been 15 years later.
Right. And so this starts what I would label it as a phone tree because...
Or a web.
Well, no, because the old days, like, you probably don't remember this, but like the moms, if you were like part of the school, they would give you a phone tree, and that way it was the best way to like disseminate the information. And so there was one person at the top. They were in charge of calling two people. Those people would branch out and call two people.
I've never heard
and
of
then
this
by
in
the
my
end,
life. You're
all the moms...
absolutely lying. This is not a true thing.
Okay, it's a thing. So this phone tree starts, and they're just gossiping their little hearts out.
Gossip Gabby's.
They want to know, they want to spread the word ASAP that not only is Mitch engaged, but it's to a travel agent that no one has met before. And they're all very curious.
So everyone's curious. And someone, we don't know who, a mysterious lifeguard part of this phone tree, he's probably third down on the phone tree branch. He decides to call none other than Mitch's ex-wife, Neely. Her name is Neely, and they broke up for whatever reason. They are on bad terms.
They were married. They got their marriage annulled, and it has not been peachy between them.
Well, actually, I think it's been pretty peachy for her because she's driving a nice ass car, and you can tell she's pure
definitely driving a
businesswoman.
Chrysler Sebring, for sure.
No, actually, that's my nice car, but she's driving a Ferrari, and it's bright red, and she has a briefcase, and you know she's a business woman. So you just know she's doing good.
So hard.
So it kind of cracks me up because this mysterious lifeguard calls her, and he's like, guess who's going to be at lifeguard whatever?
Well, no, he says, hey, we're going to be really busy today. We're calling out like all the old lifeguards because we need some help. So he says, you know, we're running out of people. It's the hottest day of the year. We need help. And she says, I can't. I have back-to-back meetings all day.
I am a businesswoman.
And we don't know what Neely is doing. It just makes her seem like she's got something very intensely business-like, but we just never figure out what exactly it is. But what gets her to the tower is this little nameless lifeguard, Gossip Gary, on the other end is like, well, that's too bad because your ex is going to be here. And
Mitch Buchanan at lifeguard. We'll say lifeguard 10. We don't remember.
Sure.
And she's like,
I'll be there. I'll cancel my meetings.
That's her hitting the brakes. Pulls out her cell phones, cancel my meetings. I'm going to go lifeguard.
It probably wasn't a cell phone. It was probably like a car phone or something at that point.
So she is like, okay, I'm ready because I'm going to go see Mitch. So
she cancels. Guys, whatever her very professional business is, she cancels it to go volunteer lifeguard for a day on the beach.
So she can harass her ex-husband.
So bizarre.
Anyway, we cut to the beach and Mitch gets there and he opens. This is one of my favorite parts.
He gets to
lifeguard tower 10. It's padlocked, you guys, a huge padlock, and it's a tower. And he opens it, and sitting in the dark is freaking Neely.
It's Neely, you guys.
Somehow she drove her Ferrari there, snuck in a window. We don't know how on earth.
In the dark. There's no electricity in the shack.
She had no information of what life tower he was going to be at. Somehow she climbed up in her dress and her business suit.
She's wearing like a mini skirt and a tank. Yeah.
And she sat in the dark waiting for Mitch to come, which are automatically like, there's a lot of questions there. But they start having this interaction.
She was waiting for Mitch to come.
There it was, the first one of the episode.
Get ready, guys.
So she is sitting there waiting, and then they have this interaction, which you kind of learn a little bit of background.
Right.
I was getting hot waiting for you.
Then why don't you take a long swim and cool off?
That's a hard choice, because I love being hot, I love being wet, but I can always do both.
What do you want?
Well, we could start with a little kindness and respect. After all, we were husband and wife.
No, we weren't. Never legally. Marriage was annulled, remember?
Legality has nothing to do with the promises you made to me. Neely, I promise to honor you and love you.
Why are you doing this now? We had something once. A long time ago. It's over, Neely.
Prove it. Kiss me and tell me that I still don't turn you on. You're afraid to kiss me because you know you still want me.
That's right. I want you. I want you to get down off my tower and get the hell out of my life.
So she's like, you cannot be getting engaged to somebody else. Tell me you don't want me still. Tell me that I don't still turn you on. Which also feels like the worst way to like get back together with someone. We all are attracted to someone who's a nightmare.
That's toxic.
But you're not going to get along.
She also has had so many opportunities to just go to his house and tell him
They
this.
live in the same city.
They live in the same city. She knows him. Like, it just is strange to me
waits
that.
till this moment.
Yeah, it's strange to me that her like kind of crazy ex-girlfriend comes out or ex-wife comes out like on the hottest day of the summer. That's why it's so hot.
And she also, instead of being like, I love you still, you were my best friend, instead she's like, you stole like my wedding from me and my ring from me and my life from me and you owe me all this shit. And I'm like, That's the last reason you'd want to marry someone / the least convincing argument to get back together with them.
Yeah. First, she tries to use her raw sexuality. And then when that doesn't work, she starts yelling at him and getting mad. And he's like, girl, I don't have time for this. I want you out of my life.
Yeah.
So time goes on. We see some familiar faces. Hobie, which is Mitch's son, is there. Yes. And guess who we see dating a girl named Lee? It's JD. And they're just living their lifeguard dreams.
Loving life.
Well, there's this photo shoot going on with
because Lee, JD's girlfriend, is a photographer for a very, very sophisticated magazine. It's called FHM.
Lee, this heat wave, there's 250,000 people coming to the beach today. I can't spare to have any lifeguards work the shoot. No, I'll work it myself. This is my first photo shoot for FHM, Taylor, and I've only got the models today. FHM, for him. Oh, I like that magazine. See? It lets us find out what men are fantasizing about. Exactly.
Insight to what men are thinking sexually.
And they say this. They very smoothly employ it in the dialogue where they're like, oh, FHM, I love that magazine. It really helps us know what men fantasize about.
I'm like, come on.
Men are pretty freaking easy.
Come on, guys.
I'm going to guess boobs.
Yeah. Like these hot girls are all like in their underwear like, I wonder what would turn this guy on. Like they need to read it. Anyway.
It feels like a very basic equation, but whatever.
So we're happy to see JD, and we're happy to see that he's in this new relationship with this beautiful woman named Lee, who is now the photographer for FHM. And what happens is they're doing a photo shoot with this very interesting avant-garde style.
Oh, yeah.
These girls one is in a mermaid costume. One is dressed
full
as a
sequin tail.
And one is dressed as I think a seagull. We think a seagull. We think it's a theme.
She's got sort of like a feathery headdress, but here's the thing. They're all precariously balancing on surfboards.
Yes.
In the ocean.
And they have like full heels on, like knee-high heels, except for parrot bird girl, seagull girl. She's literally
bird feet.
I just want to paint a picture. The other two girls are really sexy, and she's in like a full body over her head, over her hair, and it's kind of like sparsely.
Just imagine Big Bird on a surfboard.
It's kind of like sparsely flavored hair. So
wait. Did you just say sparsely flavored hair?
Sparsely flavored. I was in a frizzy, sparsely placed, I don't know, hair on this bodysuit. Anyway, she just got the raw end of the deal. That's all I'm trying to say.
And she's trying to like be a sexy seagull. She's trying her hardest. She's very gracefully moving her arms / wings. She's trying to sort of get that beak profile. It's not working. Bless her.
And the other two girls are just gorgeous in these beautiful costumes. Regardless, I digress. So they're on this surfboard, and what do you think happens?
Well, the producer, Lee is like, she knows the water inside and out. And so
she's a lifeguard. She's a former professional lifeguard.
Yeah. So she's like, get them out. This is not going to end well. We're done with the shoot. And the producer's like, that's not the money shot. And so he pressures her to keep them in the water, even though she knows the waves are getting dangerous.
Her lifeguard little skills are tingling.
And what do you know?
The baby's little wave, a tiny, you can clearly see it was shot maybe 2 feet from the shore, knocks all three women off. And all of a sudden, they just totally forget how to swim, all three of them.
So I'll go limp.
They like tense up, and then they're just floating. Like not even moving their muscles.
No.
Totally.
No doggy paddle instinct, nothing.
They're in total shock, which I would be. If I fell off of a surfboard in 2-foot waves, I would be in total shock too. Full shock, they go limp, they're not moving.
You would think the girl with the mermaid tail has an advantage. Just paddle that bad boy.
It's like she doesn't know even what a fish is. Like it's hilarious. So they all freeze up, and of course Lee, who's the photographer who's now dating JD, she rips off all of her clothes. What does she have on underneath her clothes, guys?
Her Baywatch bathing suit.
She just brought it just in case.
So many yeast infections. I'm just guessing. It's constantly under your clothes.
A wet, soggy, salty Baywatch.
That's how
She's had it for
it.
15,000 years. She's like, I knew I would get this. So,
I knew I would need this one day.
Sure enough, she jumps in. JD comes later on
from the jet ski,
and Mitch also comes in, and they, needless to say,
it's a good thing that all of the emergency lifeguards they called out of retirement are all in the exact same place on the beach for this one rescue at this one moment.
Yeah. So a hottest day of the year.
Yeah.
And
hottest rescue of the year.
Hottest rescue. So they obviously save Hot Pirate first and Hot Mermaid, and then Seagull kind of gets saved. They kind of drag her out.
Her wet feathers.
She's kind of like dragging on the ground, and she's fine. But the other two they're in pretty bad condition. And so what happens is Mitch starts giving them CPR, and Neely
and the defibrillator.
Yeah. And Neely, the girl who was waiting in the dark for him,
his ex-wife,
furious ex-wife, comes and helps them, and they save the day.
She swoops in to participate in this rescue.
And they save the day. Great. Everyone's good. All said and done. So after that, cut to a scene of Neely talking to a lifeguard on the beach. Talking to Lee. And she's like literally having the most bizarre conversation about while Mitch was saving these girls' lives, that he had a boner in his little bathing suit. Like,
no way. No. I think that he was just excited because we had such a good rescue today. Honey, that ocean was cold. He was excited about more than chest compressions. Are you sure? I'm very observant. Oh my God. You want to know the truth about a guy? All you have to do is hug him, pay attention.
girl, why are you are saving people's lives. I don't care how selfish you are. Yeah. You're saving people's lives, and all you think about is Mitch's bone under his tiny little Baywatch shorts.
You're not paying attention to bringing someone back to life. You're staring at Mitch's boner.
And also the comment from Lee, like, maybe it was the excitement of the save. Like, is that something that happens? Like, we're just
your adrenaline gets going.
Yeah, we're gonna maybe it does. I don't know. So that was just a weird conversation, but you can tell that Neely's like, all of a sudden
she's feeling so possessive.
She's feeling possessive, and all of a sudden she's like in love with Mitch.
At this moment, we meet like Mitch has spent his day like saving the team, being on guard.
Yep.
He and Hobie are sort of talking, and they're watching they're watching Allison, who has come to the beach to do her triathlon training in the water, and they're just sort of standing on the beach watching her splash around, and she's like
a 5-year-old.
She's wearing goggles, and she'll like pop up and wave furiously and be like, look what I can do, and then like splash again.
She's like, have you guys ever seen back in the day, Mad TV was the worst. I didn't like it, but there was that guy Stuart.
Yes.
Look what I can do. That was exactly her. Yes. And so Hobie, who is obviously
like,
Mitch's
good choice, Dad.
Mitch's son. Mitch and his son Hobie are watching Allison, and they're just like, okay, cool tricks. So finally, she comes out, and as they're walking towards her, Mitch is like, "Don't be shocked. I know you're gonna like her, but just
don't freak out when
you see her." So Hobie does the exact opposite of what Mitch says. Sees Allison.
Hobie did not follow instructions.
And again, Allison is the actual actress who played Stephanie, Mitch's ex-wife, and Hobie's just
dead fiance.
Dead fiance. I keep saying ex-wife.
How dare you?
Neely is ex-wife, dead fiance. So literally, Hobie's like, whoa.
He does not play it cool at all.
Not at all.
You can see Mitch sort of like elbowing him, like, I said like, not to freak out.
Don't freak. Because Hobie's the first one to see her at this point.
And he's like, it's just gonna have to get used to it.
Yeah.
They decide to have a three-way hug. So Hobie, Mitch, and Allison, who's meeting for the first time, they all engage in this family hug. And what do you know? Eagle-eyed Neely, who's a few yards away, is like, is that Allison? Is that Mitch?
Oh, yeah.
And so she
happens to be right down the beach at the right time, and she gets furious. And again, she's talking to Lee about the boner. Speed walks over there. So mean to Allison, but she also notices, hello, Allison, looks exactly like Stephanie. So she's kind of being mean. And
Allison even tries to shake her hand, and Neely won't even put out her hand for Allison.
Well, because Neely decided this day that she was going to be a crazy, bitter, possessive ex-bitch. She just decided this morning. She was, keep in mind, on her way to business meetings.
Right.
Wasn't giving two shits about any of this, but her whole life changed in that one phone call from Random Lifeguard. So basically, Mitch is like, Neely, I don't have anything to do with you. You were my past, and you're in the past, and I'm going to keep it that way. And she's just like, so mad.
And so she tries to get the deets from Hobes, like,
exactly how involved is he with this Stephanie clown?
Just forget it. This is just pointless.
Hobie, I want to know. You know that I'm going to find out, so tell me.
He loves her. They're getting married.
And the word engaged sends Neely into a tailspin that will drive her for the rest of this movie.
So after the chaos of the day and all that excitement.
So much excitement.
We meet Mitch and Allison. They're both back at their little beach. Mitch, again.
Utility shed.
Utility shed on the beach. We think it has to be because no windows, just bricks.
I mean, that's one way to own property. Lots of places.
So he's meeting with his wife, Allison, and they're planning their wedding.
Fiancé.
Oh, yeah, man. There's so many wives and exes.
Do not jump ahead.
I'm sorry. I'm just so excited for them to get married.
So they're trying to plan their wedding, and for some reason, Allison's like, I want to get married in Hawaii and I want to get married on Haiku Island because I want to get married near a volcano. And she has her little tiny Allison heart set on this volcano wedding.
Mm-hmm. Nobody knows why. And so this triggers something in Mitch. And all of a sudden he's like...
You see his little amnesia face.
His little blue eyes. I think I know somebody in Hawaii.
And you immediately are like, yeah.
The entire Baywatch team that you set up. Nico.
The governor.
Actually, you know
came
the governor.
To the opening of?
Yes, maybe you knew that. Nope, her name is CJ.
Guys, it's CJ. It's Pamela Anderson.
Played by Pamela Anderson, the incomparable Pamela Anderson, CJ. And the thing is she just moved there. So it's not like she's even like someone who's been there for a long time.
She's not established.
He remembers her because she just moved there and opened up a really classy establishment called
CJ's Bar and Grill.
CJ's Bar and Grill. And guess who entertains at CJ's Bar and Grill?
That would be Lonnie. It's played by Carmen Electra. She gave up her career as a dancer in Las Vegas to be Premier Entertainment, which means at around like 4:30 at the early bird dinner, it's super bright outside.
Carmen Electra puts on the dance of a lifetime. Of the tables
and wiggles.
She literally wiggles, and the camera tries to make it seem like she knows what she's doing, but she doesn't, and it's awful. So yeah, 4:30 on like Tuesdays and Thursdays. Carmen Electra, known as Lonnie, performs
totally
at CJ's Bar and Grill.
For being able to pay for your bills in Hawaii,
makes
just being
total
a
sense.
dancer at the early bird dinner.
The two just hottest women, they are in business together and they're owning it. So that's where we get introduced to CJ, and
who
now
is doing what?
She's in a meditative practice state. Like she's like sitting in the lotus position and like breathing in and out. Under a tree that's filled with chimes. You guys, the sound guy forgot to edit out the chimes in the movie.
And there's not just like a set of chimes. It's like every branch of this tree has wind chimes.
It's all metal wind chimes. So she's meditating and all you can hear is like because they forgot to take that part out.
It's in the middle of a bunch of tourists on beach chairs.
I forgot. In the background, there's barbecues and kids. And she's not even, she's supposed to be meditating, but what she's actually doing is just fantasizing about her sex life.
Mm-hmm. It's just all these flashbacks about red satin sheets.
Her in black leather.
She's rolling around in the sand. Making
get it.
Out.
You know what? Get it, girl. Just relive that.
I would be reliving it
Relive
too.
that, but let's not disguise it as meditation. That's a masturbation fantasy.
Because also it's like, meditation's all about being in the present moment. So just to be thinking about not only are you not meditating, you're like going exactly against doing the opposite thing that meditation is. It's like so actively not meditation.
It's those damn wind chimes. They just knock her. Her concentration is out. So she's meditating, and sure enough, Lonnie runs up. Again, Carmen Electra, and she's like, oh my gosh, I've been looking all over for you.
I can't believe that you're not working. And Pam's like, I'm sorry, what? Because meditation is working. Yeah, thank you.
And she's like, I've called you 1,000 times and you never answer your phone. And this is where CJ says something very casual, but then they just blow past it. She's like, well, I have it on vibrate and it just feels too good. And we're like, that's just a casual thing to drop. Like, oh, I'm masturbating to your missed calls. And
could you call me 20 times in a row? Just real quick. Just do me a favor.
There's a big emergency. Just you have to get a hold of me, okay? But I might not answer, okay? But let it ring the full time. Don't hang up.
I just need you to do this for me. Just don't ask questions. At that point, she's like, this is part of work because the moon's converging with planets, and that means...
My Mercury and Venus is in alignment, okay? And there's going to be a huge convergence. Significant pieces of my entire life are headed for a crash collision course. I can feel it. Okay, you made your point. Fine.
That something from my past is going to merge with my present. So what do you know, you guys?
She's practically a Buddhist monk at this point.
Yeah. Oh,
I think it's supposed to represent like she's a very spiritual, out there person.
Right. She's one of those like
whimsical, wonderful
where
girls.
Men are just sort of like, oh, she's different.
Yeah, because this was late 90s, early 2000s, guys. We did not do crystals in astrology.
And she also tells Lonnie at that point that she's swearing off sex. So she is a monk at this point. She has reached enlightenment.
She's in reached enlightenment.
She's swearing off men, but she thinks about them 24/7.
Doesn't mean I can't think about them nonstop.
So, at that moment, because she's clairvoyant essentially and knows that the planets are going to bring her past in line with her present, who calls on her little vibrating phone?
She gets a little. I'm surprised she answered it.
She's like, hold on real quick.
Lonnie's like, hey, wait. So she answers the phone, her cool little like Nokia, and Mitch is on the other line.
Oh, I'm vibrating. Hello?
CJ, it's me, Mitch.
Mitch? It's Mitch. It's Mitch. Ronnie, I told you convergence. So is everything great? Are you wonderful?
Phenomenal. CJ, I'm getting married next week in Hawaii.
Mitch is getting married. Have I met her? Do I know her?
Not yet, but you're gonna love her. Her name is Alice.
So CJ's like, you have to have the wedding.
In this moment, just without pause,
You have to get married at CJ's Bar and Grill.
which is the classiest place.
The classiest establishment in Hawaii. You have to get married here. And Mitch is like, well, Allison is set on this volcano outside.
Yeah, Allison's heart is set on getting married at the edge of a volcano. I can't imagine why, but she really
just is pushing this damn volcano. And so CJ's like, okay, that's weird, but you should have your reception here. And he's like, deal. But we also see that CJ talks to Allison. Mitch hands the phone over and they have like a little conversation to get to like know each other.
Right.
Because CJ's really putting an effort because she's so enlightened.
And she's like, Allison, I always get my way. It's not going to be used fighting me. Just you're having your reception here. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's going to be perfect. And Allison's like, okay, fine. But we're still getting married on the edge of a volcano. Also, it is worth noting at this moment that the other thing that makes CJ financially viable is she has invented sunscreen wipes.
How did we miss this? Oh my God, that should have been her intro. We need to back up premeditation, CJ.
So if you look all around the scene at CJ's Bar and Grill,
everybody's using sunscreen wipes. And not only are they using them, it's like those film cuts between, and it's like they're all mumbling. These are really good sunscreen wipes. Like everybody's like, these are really great sunscreen wipes. These are really great. I love these sunscreen wipes. Like it's the best.
Looped in audio. I can just imagine someone in a sound booth just recording
mumbling.
Oh, I really love these sunscreen wipes.
Sunscreen.
Oh, these are really protecting me from the sun. Are these 30 SPF?
I wonder who made these. These are a really great invention. So we totally blanked on that, but that is one of the best things because you guys know those little baby
They look
wipes.
like imagine baby wipes or Clorox wipes.
But they just put a sticker on it that says CJ's sunscreen wipes. And
every time you want to reapply, you just take out a little itty bitty swab of this cloth and like maybe swipe it down your arm and get a little bit of sunscreen out.
You guys, the environmental impact, the
so much plastic.
overall use, there's just
So
CJ, love you, but those are not the best idea.
Bless
but
your little heart.
Everyone in Hawaii thinks they are. So we just want to side note, that's how she's rolling in her money.
Right.
All right, so all that's happened. They've determined, Mitch is like, okay, I'm going to get married to Allison. I'm going to get this volcano, but first I'm going to have this like, it's kind of like a welcome back, like engagement party. Let's get the team, the gang back together.
Right.
A thing at CJ's Bar and Grill. So like we're talking all these former Baywatch elites. We've got Hobie, JD. We should mention that Kakoa and Jason make an appearance.
Yes, it's at this point that we see them patrolling the beach in Hawaii and we catch up with them and like, oh, so they didn't just disappear. They are technically going to be a part of this little movie. Yes. And they're together, by the way.
Yeah, Kakoa and Jason, who would have thought?
You were gone when I woke up.
I couldn't sleep.
You know, you don't have to go to Mitch's party if you can't handle it.
No, I want to go. I'll be all right.
Hey, Koa. We're together now. JD's with Lee. There's no reason we all can't handle this. That is, unless you're still in love with him.
No. It's just I haven't seen JD since he broke up our engagement. And Lee and her are best friends. I just don't know how I'm going to feel seeing them together.
Think about it this way. How are they going to feel about seeing us together?
I would like to mention, too, that this is the beginning of Jason Momoa's hair growth journey, and so his hair is much longer. Yes. It's good.
Yes.
I'm so jealous of his beautiful, thick, gorgeous, curly, wavy hair.
There's so many things that I'm jealous of.
Yeah, I'm jealous of a lot. But it's also like I'm jealous, but I'm also attracted to.
Right.
It's like I want to be Jason Momoa, but also be on top or on bottom of him.
whatever works.
I'm whatever
position he would want me in, I would want to be in that position.
I understand how I sounded then, being a gay and all. It's not what I meant. I just meant like with him in general.
Yes, I get it.
I was not trying to.
Keep your secrets. We don't want to know. We don't want to know if you're top or bottom.
I'm flustered. I'm just like sweating.
There's a little side note because Mitch spreads the word to people in LA. I'm flying to Hawaii for my wedding. Everybody's going to fly together on one joint flight. In this
one
process,
big old party flight to CJ's Bar and Grill.
Neely, obviously, still ticked, decides that she is going to go crash the wedding. And in an effort to get a little more moral support, she calls Caroline. Caroline is played by the incomparable Yasmine Bleeth.
Beautiful.
Who we all know and love.
And Yasmine Bleeth, Caroline's character, is now a soap opera star. Mm-hmm. And she also uses CJ's sunscreen wipes.
Yeah, they're using them on set, guys. You never know when those actors are going to be exposed to the sun too long.
We don't want to get too into detail, but there is a side note that's also really funny because Neely calls Caroline and they haven't talked in a really long time, right? And Caroline,
right.
Caroline answers the phone and Neely's like,
Hello. Why don't you make your perverted calls to somebody else?
Caroline, don't hang up. It's me, Neely.
Neely? What are you doing?
Getting massaged.
Okay, why don't you call me back later?
No. This is important. Caroline, Mitch is getting married.
And Caroline's like, you're a monster pig. Like, don't call back. And as she's about to hang up, Neely's like, wait, it's me. And you're like, why? And Caroline's like, why did you do that?
It's not like Caroline called Neely and caught her in the middle of a massage. Like, Neely made the effort. And so she's like, what the hell are you doing? And she's like, I'm in the middle of a massage. And I'm like, you made the effort to call Caroline and you couldn't get your shit together for 2 seconds to be like, hi, this is Neely. No, she answered and you had to be like, oh, yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, you called me, Neely. Why are you making sex noises? And it's not like a sister, like, fun thing. Like, they haven't talked to each other in a long time.
And same thing, they just blow right past it.
They just are like, okay, cool.
Cool, thanks.
Also, you're getting a massage, girl. Like, don't get on, like, you couldn't wait till after the massage to call.
And it's all about, like, she calls her to propose them crashing Mitch's wedding. And it seems like if you're getting a massage, you want to relax. So why you would, at the moment of supreme relaxation, not only make a call, but make a call about ruining someone's wedding. You're completely working against the massage.
Neely, I want to know where your head's at. Well, it's rage. It's jealousy and rage.
It's jealousy and rage, and she's canceled all her meetings, so she's got nothing better to do than get massaged.
Yeah, she's this big businesswoman, and now, she's canceling everything to go to Hawaii. So, yes,
but
like Kaden said, Caroline and Neely are grouping together.
They team
up to go to Hawaii
but
and crash the wedding.
Quick context. Caroline is the sister of dead Stephanie.
Oh, yeah. Oh, guys, sorry if it's getting a little confusing, but that is very true.
Neely says it in the least sensitive way possible. She was like, I would think you would want to help me crash this wedding in honor of your dead sister.
And she keeps reminding her that her sister's dead.
So Caroline's like, yeah, I'm aware. She's
your dead sister, Stephanie. She's doing this. She's making a mockery of your dead sister, Stephanie. Like, she's just been really getting Caroline riled up. But that is a good note.
So just keep
Caroline,
that in mind.
Sister of dead Stephanie.
So
Mitch's ex. I keep saying ex.
Not
dead.
Ex.
Fiance.
And Caroline agrees. She says, the way she solves this problem is, I guess I could ask the writers to write me off the show for a couple of days. So that's how she escapes.
She probably had an allergic reaction to the wipes. Her character had an allergic reaction to the sunscreen
wipes. She's like, I am going to sue CJ so hard. She's going to lose her bar and grill by the time I'm done with her.
No, I was saying that's how they wrote her character off. That's how they wrote her character off because she puffed up because she used those sunscreen wipes.
That'd be amazing.
How did I ever let you talk me into this?
Because you're a drama queen, and I think deep down inside you hunger for chaos in your life.
Oh, well, thank you for feeding me such an immense portion.
Relax. You're an actress. Use it for motivation.
Okay, let's see. I am about to meet Allison, who could very well be my late sister's identical twin. She's marrying Mitch, a man who I love and respect, but who blames himself for Stephanie's death, and could very well be mistaking guilt for love. Now, my friend Neely, she still covets Mitch.
I do not covet Mitch. I've just realized that he's the only man I've ever really loved in my entire pathetic, shallow existence.
They take like the next flight, so they arrive to Hawaii just like 10 minutes after everybody else.
And yes, sorry if it got a little confusing there, guys.
Just setting the stage.
Yes, setting the stage. Neely, Caroline, they're coming to crash the wedding. The rest of the team is at CJ's Bar and Grill, including Jason and Kakoa, which we met.
Yeah.
Everybody, the whole gang is in Hawaii at CJ's Bar and Grill. They're having
the classiest party of their lives.
They're having so much fun. They are chicken fighting.
They're in the pool trying to kill each other.
But also, like, as a lifeguard, they should know that that's not safe.
That's very dangerous.
You shouldn't be doing that. They're like they're breaking all the rules,
Yeah.
basically, all the lifeguard rules. And
they're all running around with their wet feet as fast as possible.
As fast as they can, chicken fights, drinking bottles in the pool.
Glass.
And we just want to bring up, this is a total side note that has
it's worth
it's just a sub storyline that really doesn't have anything to do with the main plot, but we just thought we'd put it in because it's so ridiculous. We mentioned that Kakoa is now dating Jason, beautiful long-haired Jason.
Right.
And she obviously, we find out, was not only dating JD, but she was also engaged to JD.
Right.
Which is like mind
blowing.
freaking blown. But to make things even more complicated, we learned that Jason was dating Lee, who is now dating JD.
So they swapped.
Just think of it that way. I'm talking so slow because I'm trying to get it out so, like, because it's so confusing. But just think of it, they wife swapped. Jason and JD wife swapped. That's all that happened.
Yeah.
But Kakoa and Lee have this interaction. So everyone's at the pool. They're having a good time. And basically
It starts getting, like, heated, more and more heated. And they start kind of picking at each other.
Yeah, being competitive.
Competing
each other. Competing each other's heads. And yeah, it starts to get more like angry and they start like, "Ugh." So then they get out of the pool and they start yelling at each other.
Hey, Koa, I think we need to talk. We've been friends far too long to let what's happening come between us.
What is happening, Lee? Maybe you can explain it to me.
It's obvious that you're hurt and angry that JD and I started dating after the two of you broke up.
It doesn't bother me a bit.
Ah, so you're not dating Jason to get back at me. Why?
Does that upset you?
I was never in love with Jason. We just had great sex together.
That's not what Jason told me. He said that sex with you was a little dull compared to the way he and I make love.
Interesting, because that's exactly what JD said about you.
And they're like arguing about whose sex life is more adventurous and their part, like what they do in bed.
Well, yeah, at first they're starting like angry like that. And then it turns into that thing where they're like, they look at each other and it's like, oh,
what are we fighting about, girl?
We're girl power. What are we doing?
Kind of the way Jesse and Kakoa made up
when
they were fighting about JD.
They fight, and right at the build-up when you think Bitch is going to get slapped, no, it turns
just
into
a little
funny
giggle.
little giggle. But this is
why we're bringing this up is for this exact fight that they have and the exchange that comes afterwards. Because Lee says,
okay, I'm going to just say this now, even though I know that I'm going to regret it later. JD screamed her name. When? During sex? Connected to the words, I love you, I love you. A few others that I'd just rather not repeat.
Why are you telling me this?
Because, Kay, I think JD is still in love with you.
sometimes when I'm having sex with JD, or with JD, he shouts, Kakoa, Kakoa, I love you, Kakoa, and other things that are pretty terrible that I don't want to say. And I'm like, I feel like someone shouting, I love you, Kakoa is about as bad as it can get. But I mean, not Lee.
We're not professional love experts. We don't know. But I'm thinking, who does that? Like, of all, like, you're just casually like, girlfriend, let me tell you, my man does the craziest thing.
He shouts someone else's name repeatedly.
Your name. Kakoa, Kakoa, I love you, I love you. Like, when we're having sex, can you believe that? And they're like,
I don't know what it means.
And he says some other pretty gross stuff too. And I'm like,
I can't crack that code. But it's
I think he's got something else on his mind. I don't know.
I can't tell. He's just acting different.
Oh my gosh. I mean, should I do something? Do you think he's thinking about something else during sex? And meanwhile, I have a few
no, girl, don't worry about it. It happens to me all the time.
So I was just kind of like looking at her like, bitch, even I, like, what are you talking about?
I'm a robot, and even I know what's happening. I don't have human emotions, and even I know what's going on here.
So we're just like dying because it's so weird, and like they keep talking.
And I can't fathom, like, I'm so concentrated having sex that I'm like, how, even if you accidentally, something
me too.
briefly slipped out of your mouth, like your mind for a second, you said the wrong word, but like
panini.
Repeatedly saying a whole entire sentence and someone else's name over and over again.
I know. I'm so concentrated on I'm just like trying to figure out how to move myself and like stay breathing.
And like, am I still like looking in the mirror? Like, am I looking okay? Am I making a weird face?
Like,
am I sweating too much?
Just like, so like, oh my God. But like, also, you know, you hear those things of like, oh, he shouted someone else's name, which we get. But just to pour a little extra salt on the wound is I love you. I love you. So then he starts crying and it's just, I don't know. I think he's trying to tell me something. She's all, girl, you need to read FHM.
If you read FHM, you would know exactly what your man was thinking.
You'll know exactly what. Read my magazine, girl.
Oh my God.
So that was a side note because it's hilarious. But obviously, you know
so good.
that there's a little bit of still feelings. Kakao has a little bit of feelings for JD, although I literally don't know why. I would.
Who knows?
I would go crazy. Like I would become that person if Jason was my. Like I would be like, where'd you go? Let me smell your dick. Have you ever heard that song? Let me smell your dick. Why you coming home at 4 in the morning? Let me smell your dick.
I've never heard that, and it feels like you're making it up.
Yeah, I would be so crazy. It was sad to say, which I'm not in normal life. I could care less.
Like the one person you'd be like hyper jealous.
I know.
Of
I just all of a sudden I'm like, who are you talking to? He's like, it's my brother.
Your
anyway,
brother, the detective.
Don't jump ahead. Don't you dare jump ahead.
All will be revealed in about 5 minutes.
All will be revealed. So that's happening. They're having a great time.
Off to the side of the party.
All of a sudden, who walks in? High and mighty, mean girls. My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. Or as Kaden says, my boyfriend brings all the girls to the yard. She can't say it right.
But I don't know why all of a sudden I don't know the words to that song.
It's like that classic. That was so hot like in the early 2000s and 90s. Like that slow motion hallway walk. Like, what's that movie? Jawbreaker.
Yes.
Jawbreaker, Mean Girls, 10 Things I Hate About You. They all did that scene. So they're slow motion walking and they look great, but everybody's like, oh my gosh, is that Caroline and is that Neely?
That's Neely here?
That's Neely. That's Mitch's ex. She's not invited. These are also really good wipes.
These are also really good sunscreen wipes. They're like, these are really good sunscreen wipes, but also Neely, but also these sunscreen wipes.
So basically, that's what's happening, and they're so distracted.
CJ immediately sees Neely walk in and is like, I'm going to freaking stop this before it starts. And because they're so distracted with Neely walking into the party, they don't notice
something else going on. We see the most ominous looking men in black leather trench coats.
Stark sunglasses, hair slicked back.
It's like they look so ominous. Like they are just... Like everyone has shirts off tanning in the pool, but nobody notices these bizarre like 6'10" men with trench coats on and sunglasses. And you're like, who are they?
Peering out from behind the trees.
Like total spy. Then we see the close-up of eyes of someone that looks mad.
Oh, he's ticked. He's glaring across the field like, oh,
he's acting with his eyes. Tara.
Yeah, he doesn't say anything, but you know just from the look on his face that there's something deeper here.
I almost said Tara Reid, but I meant Tyra Banks. But I was going to say Tara Reid really taught him. No, she didn't teach him anything. Tara Reid's there drunk, her nipples out. She's on the whole other pool.
She's like, this is Sharknado, right?
Am I in Hawaii? No, Tyra Banks, she taught him how to smize for sure. Opposite of smize, like glare eyes. So you know, like, oh shit, something's going on, and he's taking really extreme close-up photos of everyone
face.
at the party. And but again, nobody sees this because of Caroline and Neely.
And Caroline stops dead in her tracks because she sees Allison and she's like, oh my God, she does look like my dead sister, Stephanie. No, you guys were not kidding.
Wow, this is really intense. She looks exactly like my dead sister, Stephanie.
And CJ's like trying to manage everything because it's CJ's Bar and Grill. She's on a bad Yelp review. So she's like, guys, what's going on here? Neely, why are you here?
She's also a monk.
Right.
She's also a spiritualist.
Also, yes.
So she's keeping the peace between everybody, but she gets up and she's just trying to be very
There's
friendly.
wind chimes. There's like, I'm sorry, I can't hear you. Why are you trying to...
Fucking chimes still in the back going on.
Please?
Hey, whoever... I love you guys did a great job. Amazing movie. Sound guys. You should have taken those wind chimes down. CJ gets up and she's like, what are you doing here? What is going on? And they're like, we came to meet this Allison fiance that looks like my dead sister Stephanie, and something's going on. I mean, Neely's just really kind of upset. And
she takes charge. She's just like, you know what? I'm here to talk to Allison. I'm not here to mess around. And Mitch is like, no, you absolutely will not be one-on-one with Allison. But here's the thing. Doesn't get up.
He never gets up.
Doesn't interject. He just sort of like half-heartedly raises his arm like, you know what? No, this is not a good idea.
It's Godfather Mitch just surrounded by all these women. And his freaking crazy ex-wife comes to break up his engagement and he doesn't even get out of his chair.
Not even once. CJ jumps up and practically runs to the other side of the courtyard. And Mitch is like, it's not even worth my time. It's not even worth it.
And then also when Neely comes up to pull Allison away, he still doesn't get up or do anything. She just is like, can I talk to you? And they get up and he's like, oh, well, women will be women. Am I right?
These bitches, am I right?
So this is where things get steamy because we start to notice that Allison... she's saying some things that are like triggering a little bit of hate.
Can we, for 1 second, just specify that when Neely takes Allison aside to speak to her in private, that they decide to have this conversation at the top of a water slide?
Do you think I would ever leave that out? You think I would ever?
I have a very special space that I want to have this conversation in. Follow me.
So, yep, they go to the top of a water slide because that's just what you do. To have an adult conversation. And
that's where I saw all of my problems.
At the top of that water slide.
Maybe at the top of the water slide in 5.
I don't trust you. You don't know anything about me. I know that you're trying to take advantage of Mitch's guilt over Stephanie. And that if you really cared, you would rush me to marriage. Mitch and I love each other. We have no reason to wait. What are you really after? Happiness? Love? Feelings you're incapable of. Don't underestimate me. Oh, I don't. I know what a vicious slut you can be. You have no idea, you hell-hag witch. Don't even try to come between Mitch and me. You screwed up your own pathetic... Shut-eye! I'm warning you, It's my ring. It's not your ring, it's Mitch's mother's ring. He gave it to me. Are you insane? It is my ring. Give it to me now. Bimbo! What? Mitch! Oh, you filthy pig!
And Allison starts saying, like,
ring.
This whole time, Allison has been like Sweetie Pie McGee, like just syrupy sweet to everyone she meets. All of a sudden, she's calling her like a pig whore tramp. But that's the first inkling that you get that maybe there's something going on with Allison that we're not getting. Because she does not try to resolve the conflict in the sweet way that we've seen Allison behave thus far.
She's getting really defensive.
Like,
and
not just defensive, like vicious. So at this moment.
And what happens?
Guys, when you start an argument at the top of a water slide, the only logical thing that will happen is that you will fall down the water slide head first while fighting with the other person.
And these are professional lifeguards. I worked at a water park. Even I knew you shouldn't do that. Even I knew.
Yeah.
Anytime I had a anytime I had a little spat with my boss, we fought on the water slide going down.
Who survives? Who comes up out of the water at the end is the victor.
So these two beautiful babes are just rolling around in this water slide, going down what seems like 15 or 20 minutes.
Right.
And they pop out in the pool, and like it's getting vicious. Like people are biting each other.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
Allison
Underwater,
bites
Allison bites Neely.
And so
again, Mitch is nowhere.
He has amnesia.
That's
Poor
true.
guy.
He's like, am I here for some reason? What am I doing in Hawaii? Am I still a part of this elite team? What's happening? Where am I?
Is this an elite team? So that's probably what happened. He's probably a little.
Oh, totally.
So they're fighting, and what happens is Allison punches Neely in the face. like intense. And Neely's necklace, this beautiful hemp. Beautiful hemp.
Beautiful piece. It's a beautiful piece of jewelry.
You guys know exactly what I'm talking about. It's hemp with a piece of like mother of pearl star. But
like
it's like a
flower
sand dollar.
cutout.
Yeah. Beautiful necklace that a grown woman should always wear. And she punches and it flies off. And then they decide, all right,
let's break this up.
People jump in and start breaking it up. And it's just like...
And you would think at that point that Mitch would be like, I promise you that if Jed saw me biting someone underwater, clawing out her eyeballs, he'd be like, I don't know if maybe you're the person I want to spend my life with. Like, it's...
Are you talking pre-marriage or right now?
Well, both, actually.
Just instantly divorces.
Because if Jed saw me doing something like that ravenous, he'd be like, maybe you're not okay. Are you the person I think you are? It's so bizarre because she's biting her. Like, it's so intense.
I didn't care when you screamed out, Jason, I love you, Jason. But you biting another woman is the last straw for me.
That is breaking the camel's back, my friend.
I know, right?
It's so weird.
I know. I couldn't imagine seeing like any of my friends. Well, so they break it up, and everybody's just like shook, but they knew it was going to happen. So it all
because Neely's a businesswoman. She's always thinking of the bottom line. So once Allison is whisked away by Mitch, Neely grabs that necklace, that mother of pearl necklace that
she
fell
was
to the
wearing.
bottom
And you're
of the
like,
pool.
why is she doing this? The reason she grabbed that necklace, Cadence will tell you right now. Stay tuned.
Da, da, da.
Stay tuned. For
Any minute now.
Yeah, any minute. Stay tuned. Now.
Here it's coming. She picks the necklace up because it has Allison's fingerprints on it, and she wants to find out who Allison really is.
So she takes it to Jason, who's with Kakoa. And we also learned something about Jason. He has a detective brother.
Yeah, he has a brother, and he's a detective. So she's like, hey, Jason, do you still have a brother who's a detective? And he's like, yeah, totally. Talked about this lots of times. Lots of times.
And like, just a few, like, is he in Galveston? Like the time it takes to like mail this back. I don't want to get too into
literally
it.
anything about
There's
this.
a lot of loopholes in that. But I do have a main question. Like, this necklace fell down in chlorinated water underwater. Do fingerprints work like that?
I really wouldn't.
I'm not a detective,
You know what?
but I don't think that's how that works.
I'm not a scientist. I don't know. But it does feel counterintuitive.
Mother of pearl necklace that gets punched off of you, so I don't even know when she touched it, falls at the bottom of a chlorinated pool underwater, and you pick it up and you want it tested for fingerprints so that you can find out who this girl is.
Yeah, my favorite thing is how gingerly Jason takes the necklace from Neely, like so carefully, because he doesn't...
it's a baby infant child wrapped in
because he doesn't want it to get any like cross-contamination on it. So he's like, yeah, I'll send it to my brother. And she's like, call me as soon as you find out. I'll be on the satellite phone. And so that's Jason's job.
Well, it's going to take a minute. I have to send it to Galveston. Then he responds. It's going to take him a couple times. It's going to take like weeks to do the analysis.
Jason's going to take his homemade canoe and paddle all the way to his brother.
Then they have to powder. I don't know how fast it works. It just seems like it's going to take some time.
All of a sudden, it cuts to this boat floating in the middle of the ocean. And
literal middle of the ocean.
Who's in this boat?
Glies man, the angry guy that was taking pictures. We don't know anything about him, but we do get the feeling he's bad.
Right. And guess what he's doing in his boat? He's got a whole setup, a whole FedEx setup, Office Depot, Kinko's supply store. He's printing up all of the pictures he took on his HP inkjet printer in the middle of the ocean, obviously.
No food, nothing. Just, it's a full office.
No chairs.
And I'm like, did you really have to go to the middle of the ocean to print these pictures? Just literally take it to
Couldn't do that at the hotel lobby.
I'm sure the hotel has a business center you can use. You just print it up.
He's like, I need 10 HP inkjet printers loaded onto my boat.
Do you have the right toner? Do you have the right ink? I need 5 different cartridges of color.
The entire hole is just full of ink.
But the best part is why he's printing them. He's printing them so that he can turn around quickly and throw Chinese stars at them.
Yeah, they're on a foam. He's pinning them on a foam board, and there's Mitch, and there's
Chinese stars,
Neely, and there's Yasmin and CJ, everybody, and he's pinning them up and then throwing Chinese stars at them. So you're like, oh, he wants these people dead.
Yeah, that's when you're like, no. You're like, oh shit,
this can't end.
This cannot end well. All right, you guys.
So
that was
the
a
sun-
crazy day.
Yeah, and the sun is setting, and people are trying to take a chill pill and kind of get over the trauma of watching those women in the pool.
They're probably passing out because after you day drink in the sun, no chance.
Everyone's
or for me,
just
I'm
snoring. So at this dinner, everybody's trying to sort of make peace, and Allison decides to deliver an olive branch to Neely. And she says, listen, before the wedding tomorrow, we're all going to go on this boat excursion over to Haiku Island before we get married at sunset on the edge of a volcano. And I think it would be good if you came. I just want to bury the hatchet. And everyone's like, "Err."
Well, I have a few things to say. Number one, that's some weird Little Mermaid shit. Two,
Yes. Where's
like,
Ursula?
if someone bit you and punched you in the face and then literally that night came to you and was like, I'm just kidding, come to my wedding.
I want to be on a boat with you, isolated in the middle of the ocean.
I'd be like suspicious. Of course, I'd be like, yes, I want to go to your wedding and cry.
Is there wine? I'll be there.
I'll go. And she's late. So I'd automatically be there, but I would be a little suspicious.
Yeah, I would be a little hesitant myself, but Neely does not want to let Allison out of her sight.
No, nor Mitch. She needs any excuse she
Or
can
Mitch,
to
yes.
get to that damn Haiku Island.
She's got to get there, guys. She doesn't care. So she, of course, says yes. And the next morning, everybody gathers together. They meet on the boat to sail out.
You have been on the mainland too long.
I didn't
Too
live in
long.
a
That's
place, a magical
some
land. Hawaii.
Mainland shit.
So they drive out to the island. I said it again. They take the boat. They
look at
putter
you.
on out to the island.
Look at you. Swim. They swim all out to the island.
They all swim.
They all put on their Baywatch Hawaii
Well, we
outfits
all
and
know
swim.
that they could. So they get to the shore and they decide that they're going to start planning kind of what they're going to do that day.
And by planning, it means that everybody pairs off into sex couples. And that's, you go to a different part of the island and have crazy, ravenous, uninhibited sex.
And you tell everybody that you're going to go do it. And it feels so weird to me because I'm like, you came all the way to Hawaii to celebrate your friend Mitch, to celebrate his wedding, to spend this day with him before the ceremony. And literally everyone's like, I'm going to go bone in the forest. I'm going to go bone by the waterfall. I'm going to go bone on the beach. And everybody's just like laughing about it, which is fine. I'm not sex shaming. I'm saying, what a weird time to pair off.
I agree.
When you're there to celebrate
I
your
agree.
friend's wedding.
But I
don't
mean-
get it.
They're all jonesing for it. When you got to get it, you got to get it.
You got to do it. Who am I
They
to
all
shame?
are screaming different names all over the
You
island.
just hear
It's
like echoes. I love
all- Everyone, no one knows what they're doing.
So, as they're unloading off the boat and getting ready to go have sex,
Unloading what?
as they're unloading before they unload, Neely you're the one who made the reference.
I know, but then you take it to a weird,
you
awkward
always
level.
say that, but I feel like
I'm more sexy about it.
Oh, I see. Oh, I see. You think you're pulling it off seductively.
Oh, yeah, before they unload. And you're like, unloading before they unload with their penises.
I feel like it's very seductive. I want to hear some feedback from you guys out there. What do you say?
Dr. Nance. What was her name? Dr.
Laura?
Dr. Laura. Yeah.
I've actually read some of her books and I wish I hadn't.
Oh, no.
It was very
That's so sad.
It was years ago when I was a newlywed and I didn't have
confessions.
any sort of healthy relationship model, and Dr. Laura was the best I could do, and now I'm like, I really wish I hadn't have done that. I was way too young and really planted some weird
Oh, no.
patriarchal ideas in there. But whatever.
Dr. Laura Confessions.
I'm over it. I'm more evolved now. My partnership is equal. So Neely's on the boat. Like, she's the last on the boat, and she's got the satellite phone, and she calls Jason, and she's
ready.
like,
Oh, yeah. I was going to say she's ready to communicate with Jason about that fingerprint
she has
on
taken.
that
I don't know
mother-of-pearl
where she
necklace.
got this satellite phone, by the way. She stole it from
She's a
somewhere.
businesswoman. Hello, investing in stock. She's
True.
probably the forefront
It's in
of the
her
investors.
It's in her bag. She brought her briefcase with her,
Her
on the
briefcase
boat.
has always a satellite phone.
So she's like, have you gotten the fingerprint results from your brother yet? And Jason's like, dude, no, it's going to take several hours.
Right? It's literally been the next day. Like,
As
that fight
if-
happened
yeah.
literally the night before.
How fast? How fast does it take Jason's brother?
Again,
Come
she's
on.
a businesswoman. She's used to getting things done fast.
She really is. We can't fault her for
Nope.
being productive.
Got it.
So she's like, I only have 4 hours till sunset. It's
Again.
a very Disney movie.
Again, Little Mermaid.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to lose her voice. I'm nervous. Okay.
So she takes the satellite phone with her. She unloads. She doesn't have a sex partner, mind you. She's
'Cause
the
she's
only
after
one.
Midge. Like,
So
that's all
she's-
she wants.
Yeah, she's wandering around the island like a ghost. And but here's the thing: is that she gets off the boat, right? And right as she steps off the boat, who comes out of the hull of the boat like a little sneaky lizard?
He was printing stuff down there. He's scanning stuff. He's like, oh, this is my stop. It was the bad guy.
The bad guy and his henchmen.
Sleazy eyes.
Were stowaways.
What? How did they
Stowaways.
fit that many? Those henchmen are literally 6'9".
And the boat's not very big, you guys. It's kind of like a motorboat.
Small. Like, you think you would, get a different boat, charter a different boat to take you to a romantic island. But it's
whatever.
not my wedding. Whatever.
So as we see, our couples break off into little sex pods. So first, we follow Carmen Electra, Lonnie, and her BF, Court. And they are making out in a waterfall as the water is pouring over them.
I've tried that. Doesn't work.
I would suffocate.
Your head hurts, you're bobbing up and down, and your eyes hurt really bad.
And
it's
the
like
water is
flipping.
coming full pressure, so you're like, can't
And you're
quite
like,
take a
is
deep
that your
breath.
tongue? But you think it's water, and water is getting in your mouth, and no.
For all
doesn't
of
work.
you people out there that have been fantasizing about making out with me, just know not to do it in a waterfall.
So Lonnie and Court are going at it, sucking face under this waterfall, which again is very difficult to do.
They don't find it difficult, but they're professionals.
It's Carmen Electra, dude.
And I'm not.
She's electrifying.
Well, electricity and water
not in the
do
water.
not
You're
mix.
right. She killed Court. You're right. Absolutely
So,
right.
all of a sudden, there's this giant splash in the water next to them. And they stop sucking face long enough to look over. And it is the two gigantic henchmen.
Well, at first you're like, what is that? Did a giant bear fall in the water? A dog? And it's two henchmen doggy paddling.
You guys.
Really quickly doggy padding.
They jumped in.
Paddling.
I was like, padding, huh? They jumped in with their guns. So they didn't even, they're standing on the cliff above the waterfall. They were like, hey guys, we're up here. Didn't give them any indication that they were at the top. Just jumped in with their guns. Their little heads pop up. They're bobbing. They're holding their guns and they're just paddling. And they're like, can you guys please exit the waterfall? And I'm like, this is a perfect opportunity to just take off running.
I know.
They're just bobbing in
Lonnie
the
and
middle
Court
of
are like,
the puddle.
oh no. And the guys greatly underestimated how deep it was and how long it would. They had no depth perception of how long it would take to get to the waterfall. So Lonnie and Court are sitting there 100 meters away, just like, oh no, they're coming.
And they're to the boat, just run back to
and
the
they're
boat.
slowly doggo paddling, like, come on, guys, just stay there. We're gonna get
And
you.
at one point, they're like Court's just like, what are you guys doing? And then, in an effort to look more threatening, one of the henchmen who's doggy paddling brings his gun up from underneath the water to show them he has a weapon. And he's like, I said, exit. I'm like,
but he's like
now
bobbing. His
now he
face is
can't
under
use
the
his
water.
arms to paddle because he's holding the gun. And he's like, shit. His legs are going a million miles an hour trying to keep his head above water. And they literally just are like, oh no, now we're scared. And I'm like, also, do guns fire once they get wet? I don't know. I don't have a gun.
We don't have the logistics of that, but I do know that when you're wearing 20 pounds of black leather, like you're in the freaking Matrix, not only that, you're like a big guy.
I just
And
can't
if you're
imagine
just
anything
trying to
less
swim,
threatening.
Yes, I'd be like, okay, do you need help?
Do guys doggy
Do you need
paddling?
help? And also just literally, run behind the waterfall, run away.
So easy. Problem solved.
At that point, you're elite lifeguard. Jump in the water and swim. Slowly swim away.
Those guys, clearly that's not their strong suit. You have the upper hand and you're on land. So much about it, I just can't get over how unthreatening it is.
We wait 20 minutes for the henchmen to get out of swimming. And
Court and Lonnie just stand there waiting for them.
waiting for them to get them. And they get them, basically.
Mm-hmm. Well, first, though, they have quite the fist fight. They wait for them. And then Carmen Electra punches them and does some sweet karate. But in the end, they get captured.
Also, is it for every Baywatch person, do they have to know karate?
It's part of your elite
I
lifeguard
think
skills.
literally every lifeguard at one point in one episode knows karate.
Yeah. They're multidisciplinarian.
Mm-hmm. Just side note.
Yeah. So they're taken prisoner. And then we see, one by one, each of the couples that is off having a sexcapade gets taken by the henchmen.
Are you going to cry?
They're moving
What's going on with you? Your voice is getting really do you have something in your throat? I'm watching her and I'm like, is she getting emotional right now?
I was trying to play it cool, but I had this piece of cracker.
Yes. You had a piece of bubble or cracker in your throat. You're like, walk it up. One by one. Get emotional. I think what Cadence was trying to say is one by one,
causing a problem.
the sex partnerships all get captured by the henchmen in all these hilarious.
I was crying a little though.
It's sad. I mean, it's emotional.
I want to watch these people that I've grown to love be captured.
Get captured. You know, everyone needs that. So they all capture them in these like bizarre, different ways.
Oh, they are very creative. The bad guy who's like leading the thing, the bad guy who is printing up the pictures is the lead bad guy.
We'll just call him bad guy.
And so his henchmen work for him, and he has constructed this elaborate plan for each couple. So he ties Lonnie and Court up in a like part of the ocean. Like he basically attaches a chain to a rock at the bottom of the sea, and then it ties it to their legs. So they're just kind of bobbing, and essentially they're just stuck there until they run out of energy and die. And then they take Caroline and Eddie down to the bottom of this like ship where there's like this little tiny air bubble, and they leave them in there. Here's the kicker. In each of these places, the bad guy has set up a tripod and a camera. And he's prepared.
We're in the age of
He's
documenting
ready.
Everything we do.
My favorite is that at one point he has to place one on the cliffside, but it's not like he put the tripod on top of the cliff. He like put it like jutting out from the cliff, like on a tripod.
You gotta get that shot.
Got to do it.
Shot. IG Live.
And then the last one was you started it.
You started it. He's like, look at
he
these.
invented stories.
Look at these hashtag MFers drowned. Elite lifeguards question mark.
So the last sexcapade couple is Hobie and Summer. They're making out, and they get trapped under a net and like put into the sand. So they're like human flies in a spider web.
One time I tried to plan a brunch for someone who was getting engaged.
Okay.
And it took me a really long time, and it was very hard. Really hard. I could not imagine.
Were there henchmen involved?
The organization. What henchman comes when? The shifts that they have. What they need to get. The tools. Henchman A, you get a boat. You get a sunken boat. Fill it with this much air. You measure how much the length of the rope is from the bottom of the ocean to the top of the waves. That's a lot of work.
And you know that if these henchmen did not think through jumping off the cliff and doggy paddling, that they had to be asked to do the same things over and over and over again.
I'm just saying that's like a lot of work that goes into capturing these people and then filming it.
Because all you could do is like get them all together and tie them all up in the same place.
Kill 'em. No, I roll down your window, shoot them.
Why? Yeah, I'm overthinking it. Even saying like,
even you, I'm like,
take them prisoners,
just poison them.
I don't know. Just get it over with.
Just blow up their house.
So.
Anyway, I'm just saying it's a lot. That must be a ton of effort for bad guy to plan all this because it just seems really elaborate.
You can just imagine.
Without any hitches?
No.
You think someone would get sick, calling sick, or
his henchmen are like, I'm not feeling so good.
I have a sore throat, and they just were drunk.
Yeah, it is. There's a lot of planning. There's a lot of electronics involved. So many.
Well, yeah, and then on top of that, you have to ask your henchmen to learn how to operate this piece of equipment, which they don't know how to do. Set up a tripod, figure out the best place to set it up and for the best shot possible.
Right.
These people are working with what they have. I'm just saying, it's overall a lot of energy to plan all of this.
So as all of these plans are being executed with each of these couples, Neely gets the call from Jason.
She's been waiting
she
for
has
that
been waiting for
so long. She gets it right in time.
Jason! Jace! I've got the information Neil's been waiting for.
Judy Braden.
She served time for forgery and assault with a deadly weapon. She also had reconstructive surgery to look the way she does now. Judy Braden? No, what are you saying? That she had plastic surgery? God.
Jason's brother came through. He came through. I was trying to be like, come through. And then I was too gay. So he came through and he provided that information to her. And he's like, look.
She's a felon.
She's a felon.
She's been arrested for armed robbery.
Everything
fraudulent
thousands
check
of
something. Something had to do with financial fraud, you know.
Possession of marijuana at 18. Girl is crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because when they read her record, it really isn't that bad. It was like a weapons charge and like fraudulent checks. And I'm like, that doesn't seem like the criminal mastermind you need to.
What is this, first grade? Lock me up for something serious. Bring a book.
Because here's the thing, is like you find out in this phone call that she had cosmetic surgery to look like Stephanie, to play some sort of mind game on Mitch. So I'm like, that feels like you would need way more criminal experience.
Also, like, what would they pay you
than
to
just
start
writing bad
looking
checks?
like a random person? Like, there's nothing anyone could pay me except for maybe $150,000 to change my whole
I'm saying
appearance.
$25,000.
I know. I was highballing it. No, realistically, $26,000. To change my whole face to look like somebody else and seduce an elite lifeguard / CIA / night detective agent into falling in love with me.
That does not bode well for Mitch's like status as the best CIA agent ever. He doesn't even notice that his new
the signs are in front of you, Mitch. You just keep hitting that with your headphone. You just love hitting the mic with your...
I was so perplexed by Mitch's inability to see this plan that I hit my head.
Junkyard Dog talks so much Junkyard Dog is from, you guys just go listen. And he like talks so highly of Mitch, but Mitch
can't even figure out that the woman in front of him is a plant.
He can't even figure out to turn off the fish tank before he goes to sleep. What do you think?
Oh, Mitchell. Maybe he had his amnesia.
Amnesia, I forgot. You guys, that's so rude. I forgot his amnesia.
So Neely is like rushing to find Mitch to give this information to him because she has to stop the wedding before sunset, don't forget.
For whatever reason, because Neely, she doesn't, at this point, she doesn't know anyone's being sexed up and tied up and everything.
Right. She's just trying to stop the wedding still.
Yeah, because she's like not really in love with Mitch. It's just like her own self, like this thing that she has to accomplish because she's jealous and angry.
So she runs into him on the beach and she's like, listen, Allison's not who you think she is. And Mitch is ticked. He's like, why would you do this to me? How low can you go?
Why wouldn't you think this woman that looks exactly like my dead wife?
Dead fiance?
Dead fiance. Why do you think she's great? Like, she looks like a doppelganger of her, and she's...
That's a totally normal thing to have happen.
That happens, and she's just wanting me to get married on the edge of a volcano. Everyone wants that.
And
she's
totally
really hesitant
normal
to meet all my friends, and she bites them when she meets them. What's up?
I don't know what in the world raised your hackles about her. She's totally
it.
chill. So... he's real ticked. He thinks that this is just one of her last desperate attempts to break them up. But Neely says, she had cosmetic surgery. I felt her scars when we were fighting in the pool.
That is the last thing you are thinking about when you are fighting with somebody.
Neely.
Also, she had no idea she got cosmetic surgery at this point. So why was she feeling for scars behind her ears?
Exactly.
I mean, I haven't gotten in a lot of fights in my days, but I'm imagining if I'm getting my face beat with a fist, I'm not like, oh, I noticed you didn't use Vaseline on your hands.
Also,
like, come on.
Is the idea roughly that like it was just like a face transplant?
Face off.
Otherwise,
this was face off territory.
Yeah,
because
why would it be behind your ears?
We all knew how big Face Off was.
Yeah,
the best movie of all time. And yeah, you're right. I guess they just thought it was a full like. You take off the face, put it on someone else's.
Like there wouldn't be any other scars anywhere else, no other signs on her face that she's completely changed her identity.
When you get your face taken off, your voice, your body, your personality is exactly the same as the person's face you have. I didn't know if you know that.
Yes.
That's what happens. That's what they don't tell you in a disclosure.
Right.
Because I was going to get a different face and they were like, oh, well, it might come with, all this back trauma, different voice, different life.
It's a lot of baggage.
It's a lot of baggage.
I don't know if you're up for it.
Are you want to get a different face? And I was like, well, not now. Anyway, just want to let listeners out there know if they've been thinking about it.
With this little piece of information about the scars, Mitch goes to find Allison, who supposedly is in the woods practicing her vows, right?
Another like, hey, CIA ringer. Hey. Something's not normal about this.
No, Mitch does not for one moment question.
The day of your wedding, she goes off to wander in the woods to practice her vows. Okay. All right.
So he sees her and she's wearing this flower crown, you guys. Okay. So she's in her white dress. It's like a very boho, just like casual dress.
Lana Del Rey, Coachella 2013.
She's got a flower crown on. And Mitch is like, your crown is crooked. Let me just
you guys, this is the best part.
And Mitch, with his ape hands,
with his sausage fingers,
decides to what he thinks is subtly feel for those scars behind her ears.
So he's trying
to us, he's just got his hands over both her ears and digging his fingers into the sides of her head.
Imagine like a doctor that's trying to give you like feel your scalp for like bumps. That's what he's doing, but he's disguising it like he's, oh, you misplaced your crown. Full sausage fingers all over her face, rubbing her eyes, rubbing her eyes with his thumb, rubbing his pointer fingers on her nose.
For like 5 solid
and he's
minutes.
like, yeah, and like, and he's like, this is not right. And she's like, oh, well, okay, okay, thank you. And he's just rubbing her face, her neck, behind her ears, massaging her face.
So funny.
Searching for those scars.
So eventually, after he feels every nook and cranny of her face, he confronts her.
Mitch, why are you looking at me like that?
It really is amazing how much you look like Stephanie.
I thought that didn't matter to you.
It matters to you, doesn't it, Allison? Or is it Judy?
I don't know what you're talking
Why
about.
would you do something like that? Would you go to all the pain and trouble to make yourself look like Stephanie? Make sure I fall in love with you more easily?
It worked, didn't it?
Oh my God, I flew off my seat when that happened.
And
Because Allison,
immediately-
I was kind of like, no. Well, I mean, I knew. But seriously, I was at, no.
So then at that moment, bad guy pops out
Woo.
from behind the banyan trees. And guess what? He's taken his whole entire Kinko's printing press into the banyan trees where
He's
he
all,
has
I got you. You didn't pay for your prints.
everything.
You ordered
It is
colored.
5
You only paid
cents.
for black and white. He's so mad. He's full Kinko's office center.
He's got his polo on. So he brings his whole traveling office into the woods. And guess what? Each monitor shows each of the couples that have been put in a precarious situation.
How did he get the power for that? Generator? They would have heard that.
It's like...
He got his boat. He hooked his boat up.
It's
Generator.
It's connected to the island. The island's,
yeah, we
it's
get
a
it.
whole
Okay.
thing.
You guys, this is like 2000. Keep in mind. So we're just wondering
Right. They
something.
were dreaming
But he
big.
literally does pull back his banyan leaves, full 8 monitors, perfectly filming every sex couple on the island's different precarious situation.
And it turns out that he and Mitch are long lost enemies.
Oh, well, really?
Well, what I'm saying is Mitch thought this guy was dead. He thought that he killed him years previous. But
In his CIA
instead,
days.
yeah, so instead this guy's been plotting his revenge for, I don't know, 8 to 12 years,
I don't
roughly.
know. That's what I mean. Like, dude, what are you doing? The theatrics of it all. Were you a thespian? Did you go to drama? We get it. You graduated from the School of Arts.
Yeah.
Like, kill him. Blow up his house.
Yeah, it could be so simple.
Because you think about it, like, the cosmetic surgery for this girl alone, that's $250,000.
The Kinkos, the floating Kinkos.
The floating Kinkos.
The henchmen. All the weapons. The
going to
Chinese stars.
Hawaii, buying an island, or at least renting it.
Stowing away on a boat.
Yes, all of that is like millions of dollars.
Yep.
And you could have just killed him. He doesn't know who he is.
He thinks he's dead. Like, Mitch thinks he's dead. Mitch thinks the bad guy's dead. So he is the element of surprise on his side.
Like, also, Mitch got blown up. Everyone thinks he's dead already. You have your
Also-
out, buddy. No one thinks Mitch
No,
is
that's not me.
alive.
That's not me. I don't know. I'm not Mitch.
You could literally just kill him and be like, guys, he got blown up because everyone thought he did. You, like, missed your entire opportunity here.
Yep.
But
no.
again, let's not get to. I think that this is the path that led us here.
The bad guy has chosen the most theatrical, melodramatic way ever to catch Mitch. And here's the kicker. After what Colin has definitely pointed out is millions of dollars worth of planning and supplies and everything else and just basic years of his life, essentially. He doesn't just say, like, we're going to sit here, I'm going to tie you up and you're going to watch your friends die. No, he's like, yeah, you could try to save them.
Well, what would you do in this moment to save all these people?
And he's like, we'll just see how many you can get to. Okay, cool, bad guy. What are you trying to accomplish here?
Can you cut that person's rope and like maybe move those people up? Okay.
So, sure. So Mitch is like, challenge accepted. I'm going to go see what I can do.
50 cents a print.
He's like, but don't you leave without paying your bill. So he takes off, and guess what? He runs into JD and Summer, who somehow escaped capture.
JD and Summer.
I mean, JD and Lee. I'm so sorry.
Oh, yeah. No, I was saying, but even then,
Yes.
JD of all people escapes.
Would you really want JD trying to be on your team?
I'd be like, JD comes to save me. I'm like, oh,
whatever.
It's actually okay.
Remind me to tell you
Actually,
something
let's just
very
go.
interesting that I learned about the guy who plays JD, but I don't want to sidetrack now.
Michael Bergen?
Yes.
Hello.
So he gets roped in by Mitch. Mitch is like, I need you to help me. So he takes them. And so it's Mitch and Neely reunited. And it feels so good.
But again, Neely really, whatever. We'll get to this later.
And
anyway,
then JD and Lee, and they're part of this rescue team. So what do you think happens? Of course they freaking rescue everybody.
Everybody.
They make it in time. Like,
one by one.
These are all members of an elite squad, and the bad guy just tends to forget that he's working with inept henchmen. He's the only one whose
busy
team is
doggy
just
paddling out of that pond.
absolutely working with incompetent people. Everyone else is incredibly skilled.
Wait, how did they get out of the... Like, he's there actively. Did he, like, let them go and give them a chance to save everybody? No.
Yes, he does.
He literally gives them a chance to save everybody.
Because he thinks
I thought they broke free.
No. He thinks Mitch is not going to be able to get to everybody in time, and he's going to have to live with the guilt that he didn't reach some of his people.
That's that classic Baywatch thing. It's like not just what's happening in front of you, it's a lifelong effect that it has on your psyche.
Like it slowly just builds psyche.
Oh God, yeah. It's another layer to the writing. It's really intense. Very, very like Silence of the Lambs-ish. I like it.
But yeah, he forgets that he's the only one who's working with absolute incompetent oafs.
Well, give it to bad guy. He only thought it was Mitch, but he has a team of Lee, JD, and
didn't expect those guys.
Neely. Didn't expect them. They all come out, elite lifeguards, save everybody.
Right. And then they all reconvene. Like, so he's one by one saved everybody. They make it back to the beach where bad guy and Stephanie are like kind of waiting.
Stephanie?
Allison, I'm so sorry.
What the heck? Stephanie's been dead since
Rest
season
in
7.
peace, Stephanie. Rest in peace.
Caroline's sister. Caroline's there like, is this my dead sister?
You look just like my dead sister.
Cadence made for sure that Allison, who is the Stephanie lookalike, is there.
That was what was in my brain. So Allison's waiting there with bad guy, and Mitch arrives on shore. He's freed everyone. And then in a last sort of resort situation, the bad guy and Allison get into like a fist fight.
That makes sense.
With Mitch and Neely, and it's very odd. And
Mortal
then
Kombat on the beach. That's what it is. Full fist fighting. Everyone's going at it.
Neely steals Allison's gun and holds her hostage. And then the bad guy and Mitch somehow make it out to the boat, and they're fighting on the boat. And Mitch pushes bad guy off, and bad guy gets chopped up in the boat engine.
You guys keep in mind that bad guy has had a gun this whole time. Multiple guns.
This could have been over ages ago.
This could have been over a long time ago. Maybe it's like the honor of it all. Like we're fighting man to man, or like or human to human.
I want to look in your eyes and see your fear.
Because it's like boom, knock them up. Boom. Whole elite team dead.
Are they typing and or Morse coding?
Oh, and then Miko comes in and saves the day.
That would be amazing.
She comes in on a jet ski and just
that'd be the best.
No, Miko does not come in. But like Cadence said, Allison and bad guy get in a fight. Bad guy goes to a boat, scrambles to a boat. Mitch somehow scrambles to that boat. Everyone's left on the island fighting. Well, actually, it's just Allison versus everybody.
Yeah, you should definitely say this part again.
Well, I'm just clarifying. And then he falls off. And then a propeller slowly chops him up. And then sharks come.
And then then Mitch makes it back to the island. They didn't have it in their hearts to kill Allison, so they just get her arrested.
And good in the inside. They like this buddy's up. Side note, comes to turn out, bad guy was actually Mitch.
That'd be so good.
Bad guy rips off his mask and it's actually like, Mitch.
What'd you learn about teamwork?
And Mitch is just someone imposing as Mitch, and then it's just like teamwork, and then it ends.
Cut to black.
Baywatch.
That'd be so good.
Yes, that's what happened. So Allison, yes, they don't have the heart to kill her. They turn her in. She's presumably in jail.
But then you know what? No one freaking skips a beat. And the next scene you see is a wedding. And you're like, well, if Allison's in jail, who's getting married? Wedding is
you guys take a wild guess who's getting married. I'll give you 5 seconds to debate it over in your head and make a bet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
CJ
and a
Cabana boy.
I was waiting. waiting for you to. CJ and a Fegan Cabana boy are getting married. The woman who
swears off men
and is literally a monk by this point.
Mm-hmm.
She gets married to a Cabana boy.
Well, my relationship didn't exactly work out the way I expected. But the thing about relationships, you never know what to expect. We all came to Hawaii for a wedding ceremony, and CJ wasn't about to let us go home without one. Well, I did say CJ was a free spirit, a little butterfly. Looks like this butterfly was finally caught. Our favorite hotel waiter will be lucky to survive the night. And me? I'll be lucky to survive Neely.
Within like a 24-hour period.
Oh yeah, because they had it like right then.
Mm-hmm.
Like everyone was still there, so they were like, "Let's take advantage."
And
of
then this
everyone being
last
here.
scene, you see that at this point, JD and Kakoa have reunited.
Which we knew was going to happen. 'Cause
Jason and Lee have reunited.
good couple. I'm not a fan of it. But.
Mitch and Neely have reunited.
Neely's an awful human. She's
And-
not good. Like, she's not a good person. She's nasty. Anyway, I'm
And
very
even
against
Mitch
this.
says, he's like, and I'm going to see if I can survive Neely. And I'm like, that does not
don't-
sound
that's not-
like a
that's-
place you want
yeah.
to start a relationship from.
No, that's hostile.
So unhealthy.
So everyone basically pairs off. Everyone's happy. We're all happy. Hawaii is happy. We
And
all
that's whose wedding it was. Baywatch Hawaiian Wedding ends with
CJ.
CJ.
Which makes sense because
Cabana
Pam
Boy.
Ann was like we said earlier, she was like the staple of Baywatch. So it makes sense.
You know
that
what we
she gets
forgot to
married.
mention earlier too, that all of the uniforms for the waitress and waitresses at CJ's Bar and Grill.
What made you think of this? This is the most random.
Because I
thing.
was thinking about the Cabana Boy, and I was thinking about an employee, and then I was thinking about the employees and what they were wearing, and they're wearing
This is
Baywatch
true.
Hawaii bathing suits.
Yep. The
Like
exact
lifeguard
same-
bathing suits.
Yep, lifeguard uniforms.
Which makes it so confusing. Imagine someone drowning in the CJ's Bar and Grill pool,
you
and
have no idea who's a lifeguard.
you're like, "Can I get some help here?" And all the busboys are just like, "I'm not a lifeguard. I don't know what you're talking about." Like, it's just such a bad
Hold on.
choice.
That reminds me at the very end, the bad guy is like with Mitch, and he's like, "Look, there's nobody around, not a lifeguard around to save you." And I'm like, of all things to say, you wouldn't be like a police officer, anybody else,
No.
someone with skill. You're like, there's no
Not a
lifeguard around to save, because a
lifeguard.
lifeguard is the only person that would win. in this
We've learned
situation.
that this by now. That's the only person who can do a job of a police officer, a fireman, a Coast Guard.
Everything. They're the end all be all. Wow. Okay. Lots happened. I love this movie because everybody just comes together for each other.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter what you're doing, where you are. If
Right.
someone needs your help, you drop all your business meetings back to back. You get over there and you reignite these weird
Even if
obsessions
you're
with
on
your
a
ex.
television show, you get them to write you off so that you can help solve a
Yep.
problem for
So,
your
yep.
ex-boss.
Mhm. I will do anything for my Xbox at the box. My Xbox. I will do
I
anything
love video
for
games.
my ex-boss at the YMCA. She called me now. Drop everything. I drop this.
I
Bye.
would literally leave
Bye,
my
podcast.
children.
Bye podcast. Bye everything.
You
Going
know
to
what?
save her.
I gotta go do my office work at the place that I was a receptionist for very many years.
We don't want to get like too intense, but there are a lot of plot holes, a lot of loopholes that we believe were accurately filled at some point. We just like to believe that they were filled somewhere.
Yeah, I think the writers, they have this really interesting skill where they write in such a way that they leave the holes open. However, they set
For
the
you to
stage just
explore.
enough
You can explore
that
that
your
hole.
brain makes the... That was a me joke.
They
That
leave
was
that
a
hole
me
open
joke.
for you to explore. So it's nice.
I love exploring holes.
No, but really they...
So yeah, you make the connection. They set the stage, your brain, the synapses are firing, and you fill all those holes.
We got to really see all of the old, because like I said 1,000 times, Cadence, I didn't watch Baywatch LA. So we don't know a lot of these characters. And
But we got to see the best ones.
yeah, we got to see the best ones. And
The
we
ones
did,
that we knew, even in like just culturally.
yeah, culturally, we know like CJ and Lonnie, like Carmen Electra and Pam Ann and
Oh, gorgeous.
Yasmin. Are you
Yasmin,
kidding me?
geez.
Caroline? So that was kind of fun to get to see them work together and like give a little bit. But I will say that overall, what the hell are people thinking when they write this? Like, are they thinking that it's like, I think people are writing it like, oh, nobody's going to be sober watching this. It's late at night.
Maybe.
They're going to be sober or like drunk or hot. Maybe, I don't know. And they're just not ever going to ask any questions. And so we can just put whatever we want in there.
Another thing that I noticed is Baywatch Hawaii is incredibly chaste compared to the other Baywatches. Like, no sex happens. Really, no one makes out or anything.
Oh, like Baywatch in general?
No, the Baywatch season, Baywatch Hawaii season.
Well,
like,
yes, but also
sex.
Baywatch too. It was always implied.
But even in
like
this
sexual
movie
innuendos
alone,
and
like
stuff.
everybody left to have sex with each other. They were making out. There's
Yeah,
like,
but
oh,
they
does
weren't,
that
like-
turn you on?
They
I
weren't
want.
actually having like sex or anything. It was like very PG.
But there wasn't even anything like that in Baywatch Hawaii
Are you
at
kidding
all.
me? When JD rubbed Kakoa's in her thigh and she made sex noises on the picnic table outside of
Okay,
their...
but they weren't locking lips.
Right.
There was
But
very
I
few
get what you
romantic
say.
kisses.
Because Baywatch Hawaii was more like focused on saving lives.
For sure.
That's why we love
For
it, because
sure.
it's a more real, raw, gritty look
It was
into
basically a
it.
documentary.
Yeah, it's like a documentary on lifeguards. And so that's why we liked it, because LA was just like, oh, what am I watching a TV show with beautiful people?
Yeah,
And
no
Baywatch
interest.
Hawaii, yeah, was like, we're going to save Lava Tube. Save live Lava Tube.
Coast Guard, helicopters,
Coast Guard,
helicopter running out of
death,
gas.
Getting the bends, scuba diving, Mitch locked in a
So
boat,
much.
everything. Water birth. We could go on and
It
on.
was
So
best.
it was like a documentary. We actually considered a documentary.
So let me tell you the fact that I learned about Michael Bergen. Because this blew my mind, okay? This blew my mind. Do you remember JFK Jr. and Carolyn Bessette Kennedy, who he married, the blonde
Well, I remember
woman?
he was like the hot one that died in the helicopter crash.
No, they died in a
RIP.
plane crash.
Oh, I
Yes.
thought he was flying a helicopter.
It was just like a four-seater, like one of those little
Oh,
planes.
Still, he was, yeah, I remember that.
So
RIP.
at one point, they were having marital stress.
JFK and Caroline Bessette.
And she was seeing Michael Bergen on the side.
Stop.
And JFK Jr. went to Michael Bergen's apartment and punched him in the face.
Really? Well, JFK Jr. was very smoking. And
But I guess
Michael
he
Bergen
wasn't
is
like
kind
always
of like
the best husband.
Yeah.
So she was like looking for that connection. And she
and
and Michael had a
Bergen,
past.
I'm sure were.
He was at the time he was a Calvin Klein model.
What? This was before Baywatch Hawaii.
Yeah. And and they had dated previously, and then she married JFK Jr., and then they reconnected. And so when JFK Jr. was not emotionally available to her, and most likely seeing other women.
She has a type because JD definitely
Yes.
looks like a JFK, like the
That's what I
Nordstrom
thought
Rack
too.
version.
So,
But he's still very, very hot. I would be happy with it by the Nordstrom Rack version.
so yeah, JFK punched him in the face and was like, "Stay away from my wife." And you know what? Michael Bergen didn't. He continued to see her. He didn't incur
That's
even
some
after
risky
getting punched.
business because
Also, that's
like
his moneymaker is his
political-
face.
That's political stuff. Like
Yeah.
someone could knock you off real quick.
So then I felt kind of bad for Michael Bergen that like someone he loved passed away in a terrible accident.
Oh, I was like JFK. I get it. No, you're right.
Anyway, that was a very interesting fact that I learned that blew my mind.
Also, if any of you guys out there know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody that knows Jason Momoa,
Oh yeah, totally. Put it.
I know we didn't really talk about him a lot in this, but he was always in the back of our minds.
Let's just go ahead and say he's always in the back of our
It's
minds,
given.
just
It's
all
given.
the time, like daily lives, like interactions with everybody we come in contact with. What would Jason Momoa do?
We're gonna get a writer on this show. We have to. I'm gonna lock it down.
That's my goal.
gonna go on a
I
hunt.
have so many questions.
I wish I knew how to use social media.
We're just pecking away at the typewriter.
With each
you
finger.
Right.
Do you write Baywatch Hawaii 2000 ...
If you guys
Script.
know how to use the computer, feel free to look them up and then pass the information our way to make it happen.
Jason Momoa.
We'll hunt you down for 8 to 12 years and print up pictures of you on a boat and wait for you. But we won't kill you. We'll just trap you for love.
We'll be obsessed with you, trap you, then give you the option to get away.
But you won't want to because we're so charming.
Yeah.
You'll
so
definitely
charming.
want to stick around.
Stay with us.
So we hope you enjoyed that because we'd very much been looking forward to it, and it was quite a wild ride.
Yeah,
totally
we had never
worth
seen
it.
that, you guys. That was our first time ever watching
I like
it.
to imagine that the team that wrote Baywatch and the team that wrote Baywatch Hawaii all converged, like 48 of them in a room, and everybody got to pitch one plot
48.
point, and so that's why it got so
It was
wild.
a dolphin, a parrot, and a monkey.
They're
and
like,
there's different
everybody's
things
gonna
got-
have
different
one
choices
idea
got
in the
thrown out.
script, and then you just do them in a row, like no rhyme or reason, just one thing happens after the other in sequential order.
Yeah, and this episode was sponsored by CJ's Magic Wipes. CJ's Magic Wipes.
We'd like to thank our
Wipe those
sponsor.
wipe on your skin, and you'll be in the sun all day without any. Just wipe. Just
Don't worry, just wipe.
And with your hands, and wipe with a non
And just smear it a
sunscreen.
little bit with the cloth. You're good.
We love you guys.
Bye.
Bye. Have you ever played Leaky Submarine?
No.
That's where you plug all my holes. Ew! Cut that out. That was so sick. I can't believe I said that.
I cannot
That was
believe
gross.
you said that
and
either.
You're my sister, and I looked right in your eyes when I said that.
You said it with so much intensity. And
Let's stop. This is gonna
the
work.
thing is that
Stop.
you were looking at me, and I remember thinking, like, this isn't a sex joke because he wouldn't be making direct eye contact with me.
It's so gross.
For this
I
long.
hate that I
And
did
then you
it. And I full got into character. I said it with like full vigor. Vigor.
I was like, no, that's not where it's gonna go. He's not breaking eye contact. And then you went for it anyway.
Oh, it was so gross.
Oh, that was amazing. Okay.
So also what we liked about this, just casual segue.